Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rahmat Ibowo, and in this video we are going to talk about agama, kepercayaan, and aliran. The politics of religious recognition in Indonesia by Rahmat Ibowo. So, uh, okay, so a research brief on Hindu Dharma, Buddhism, and Confucianism and the legal architecture of religion in Indonesia state. Indonesia's state apparatus doesn't treat religion as a natural, descriptive category. Agama is legal and administrative status that a belief system must qualify for, and the qualifying test, monotheism, a prophet, a holy book, codified law, was built around an Abrahamic template that fits Islam and Christianity comfortably, fits Hinduism and Buddhism only after considerable re-engineering, and excludes most indigenous belief systems outright. This page lays out that history in detail, including where popular claims about Hindu is only kepercayaan or Buddhism is an agama hold up where they don't. So, what agama means in Indonesian state? The Indonesian Ministry of Religious Affairs, founded in 1946, inherited a working definition of agama that requires belief in one supreme God, in line with the first principle of Pancasila, ketuhanan yang Maha Esa, a prophet, a holy scripture, and an international following. In practice, religion or agama in Indonesia has been interpreted exclusively as requiring monotheistic belief, written scripture, a prophet, and international recognition, criteria proposed by the Department of Religion within a year of its founding and never formally codified. So this produces a sharp three-way split that still structures Indonesian religious life. Category, there's a recognized religion, it's agama, eligible for the state of ministry, and then KTP religion field, customary or traditional belief like kepercayaan, it is constitutionally tolerated but historically denied. And then unregistered or deviant or sesat, vulnerable to the blasphemy law, penetapan Presiden PNPS 1965. So, the law in question never says outright these are the only legal religions. Its explanatory text states that these are religions believed by the majority of people in Indonesia, while clarifying that other religion beliefs like Judaism, Zoroastrianism, Shinto, Taoism are not banned. But 6. The case of administrative practice turn a descriptive list into a de facto closed registry. Hindu Dharma, from no religion to state university. This is about the Balinese response. And then the kepercayaan elements that persist, where the popular claims that many indigenous belief systems that are not Balinese derived have been folded into Hindu status for surviving purposes. Several indigenous belief systems and traditional religions outside Bali have been admitted as classified as form of Hinduism in order to meet Indonesia's legal term. For example, because lacking an agama carried a real risk association with the atheism during the New Order, with communism group such as Dayak Kaharingan in Kalimantan have identified as Hindu to avoid pressure to Islam or Christianity. Even though Kaharingan, Sunda Wiwitan, Toraja Aluk, Todolo, and Batak Parmalim are distinct traditions from Indian influenced Balinese Hinduism. In Kalimantan Tengah, government statistics have generally counted Kaharingan adherents among Hindus, who make up roughly 7.8% of the province under its classifications. So, is Hindu agama or kepercayaan? Agama Hindu Dharma itself is an ambiguous one of the 6 state recognized agama, with its own ministry directorate, marriage registrations, and now a state university. What is generally closer to kepercayaan is cluster of non-Balinese indigenous belief systems that register as Hindu. Buddhism is agama since 1965, but a reconstructed one. Buddhism is a philosophy of life, not religion. And that's the historical roots. Buddhism presence in Indonesia predates the modern state by well over a millennium. During the Kediri, Singhasari, and Majapahit empires, Buddhism, known as Dharma Kasogatan, was acknowledged as an official religion of the kingdom alongside Hinduism, with the national motto of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, itself coined from the Kakawin Sutasoma, a text written to promote tolerance between Hindu, Saivites, and Buddhists. And Konghucu, the legend that was switched off and on. This is the history. And then Gus Dur was pahlawan bapak dari umat Konghucu di Indonesia. Kepercayaan indigenous belief, the permanent outsider. So we have beneath 6 agama sits much larger, more fragmented category. Kepercayaan, aliran kepercayaan, kebatinan, and adat, terms that overlaps but are not identical. So these traditions is ranked as high as 20 million Indonesia Kejawen, have no fixed prophet, sacred book, or distinct religious festival. And then this loose current of practice was given constitutional legitimacy in 1945, and in 1973 was recognized as kepercayaan kepada Tuhan Yang Maha Esa. However, there's still a lot of gaps, and this is all of the legal that's coming in. And then religion or agama in Indonesia has been paradoxically interpreted exclusively, requiring monotheistic belief, written scripture, a prophet, and international recognition. Hindu versus Dharma. Could it be called something else? Why is Hinduism called Sanatana Dharma? So, the claim that Hindu is the wrong name, that the tradition should be called Dharma or Sanatana Dharma, instead rests on real etymology. So, where the word Hindu comes from? The word traces to Sanskrit Sindhu, referring to Indus River. Ancient Persian lacking the S sound, making the sound Hindu. Greek and Persians visit to Indus Valley, and there's a inhabitants called Indoi. The term Hindu has no direct presence in the Vedic texts themselves. It is an exonym implied by outsiders and spread further by Arab, Turkish, and Mughal era. So, yeah, etymologically, yes, Hindu is a geographic, and ism is to make it like religions, but it should be called like the Sanatana Dharma, right? This is the comparative summary, and then for closing, first, agama Indonesia is not a description of a belief, but a bureaucratic license issued against a template built for Abrahamic monotheism, which is precisely why Hindu and Buddhist community each had to articulate single supreme deity that their tradition did not or originally required, and so on and so forth. So thank you for listening to this video. See you in the next one.